what's up? Welcome to another video here on the channel. It's James and this is Emmett from the Ecom Boss team. And today what I wanted to do is firstly introduce you to Emmett. He is our head coach in the program, and most importantly, get him to give you the 3 biggest things that he's found after working with a lot of our clients and taking them from complete beginners to, in some cases, over $100,000 per month in our advanced programs. What are the 3 biggest things he's seen that has led to that success starting as complete beginners? So, with that being said, Emmett, can you tell us a little bit about you, your background, where you came from, why you're here? Let's start there.
Yeah, so bit of a long story. It was a couple of years ago, but originally I first started off as a personal trainer. This is just building up to how I ended up here. Originally started as a personal trainer, really enjoyed it, really loved it. But then, as we all know, a couple of years ago, COVID came around, right? So COVID and being a personal trainer in the gym industry was always scary because every day you sort of didn't know, okay, cool, am I going to have a job or am I not going to have a job? And your income was always up to the government every single day, no matter how hard you worked, right? So one day I came in, Monday morning, 10 a.m. I was employed, midday I was unemployed with no option of being able to work anywhere. So that was a bit concerning. But with that, I had just recently been a part of the Ecom Boss program. And I had been in there, I'd been working on my store, been slowly building myself up. And then I'd actually managed to create for myself an income on the side, which helped to settle me a lot in the uncertainty that COVID brought. And that's what sort of like made me really, really love ecom and really want to give that skill to other people, especially because I found that the more I talked about going from doing really well to unemployed because of COVID, a lot of other people went through that as well. So being able to sort of like hand that skill out to more people working in a program like this and being a coach has been pretty awesome. Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's sort of my background when it comes to getting into ecom. It was definitely a necessity thing.
Yeah, for sure.
It was like, hey, I can't work anywhere else at all. I should probably create another income stream somewhere. Yeah. And then it's just grown from there. Yeah.
There's been an interesting thing where before COVID, making money online wasn't cool.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't cool at all. Like there was a few weirdos before that, like me who got into it. It was after COVID when things kind of shifted, it now became the cool thing, you know?
Yeah, well, I definitely think the dynamic for income changed a lot. Like I definitely was always the type of person who was always on the lookout for, how can I earn money here? You know, stocks, crypto, I've like done everything under the sun. But then it was always like frowned upon. It was like everything was like, oh, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? It's so risky. It's so risky. Why are you doing that? Yeah. But then as soon as you really knuckle down and you start to make it work, that's when like I get messages now from mates, oh, how do you do it? Can you teach me? Can you show me?
Yes.
But I definitely think having COVID come through and just help make a lot more people realize that you don't have to always be working outside in the sun, or you don't have to do a 9 to 5, or you don't have to drive to work in the city every single day just to enjoy your weekend. You can earn the same amount, if not more, multitudes more, just from your laptop or just from your phone. So that was definitely quite eye-opening, and I think a lot more people are waking up to that over the past few years, which has been good. It's a lot more of an open discussion now, an open conversation now. Yeah, it's not as taboo or hidden.
No, not at all. No, it's not the 1960s where you have to go and commute and get a job.
Got to go to my factory job. Yeah,
that's it. More people are realizing that it's actually a possibility.
Yeah.
And what's been really interesting is that you're a perfect example. I remember when you joined.
Yeah.
I remember when you were completely fresh, baby face. You didn't have the beard. Quite literally, you were baby face.
Literal baby face. Yeah.
And you jumped in, and you're one of those students who came in, and you were just, all right, let's do it. No complaints, no questions, just straight in, doing the work. I wouldn't hear from you for a little bit. You come back, here's everything that I've done. Yeah. Like, made my job quite easy.
Yeah.
And so what was really interesting was as COVID happened, more people started to get into the online business space, right? And so we had more students come in. Eventually, we needed more hands on deck, right? Yeah. I'm not an octopus, right? I need hands on deck. And so when we were looking for a new coach, I had specific criteria in mind. And the biggest thing is that there's a lot of courses out there and online programs where, sure, the gurus had some success online, but then the people who are actually the coaches helping the clients, they have no business experience at all. They haven't run a store. They haven't been through the trenches and been in the shoes of the client. So how are they supposed to help a beginner?
Yeah.
And so the rule that I had was any coach that comes on board to work with my clients has to have A, been in the program, and B, had success with the program.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they can't coach.
Yeah.
And so what was really cool was with Emmett, I'd seen his great results, but also I happened to go to the gym that he trained at and worked at. And so every time I go to the gym, I spend most of my time talking to him. He just come over, and obviously you have a great vibe to you as well. You're very, conversational. You're a friendly guy. I was like, this is a good person, coming from training as well. And so we started working together. He came on as a general coach, and over time, over the last few years, he's worked his way up to the point now where he's equal as part of the program as much as I am. He's basically the heart and soul when it comes to working with a lot of our clients each and every day. And for the clients, you see the incredible results on this channel. You hear them mention Emmett's name a lot. They all up to him. And so what I want to do now is, now that you've gone from complete beginner, gone through the program, started your career online, left your job in the training industry, now you work online full time, now you've helped all these students, what are the 3 biggest things that you think are criteria of people who do well versus people who jump in and don't get the results that they wanted?
This is always an interesting conversation, because sometimes I'll get students ask me this as well, like, oh, hey, I actually really like it. This is actually normally a sign of a student who's going to do really well. Is their first, like the second or third message to me as soon as they get in is like, what do the best students do? What are the qualities of the best students? And they'll hit me up and try and figure out what the students who are having the most success, what are they doing? And then I'll normally list off these 3 things. So what I've found with the students that tend to do the best are what I call them is like doers versus doubters. So doers are the students that will enter into the program, they will just give everything a shot rather than, oh, that's new, better stop. Oh, that's new, better stop. Oh, that's new, better stop. A lot of people will want to know everything before they even give it a shot, right? They feel like they have to be Einstein, like an expert on the process and the system, and know the ins and outs and the intricacies of the next 12 months before they just start doing something that takes 5 minutes out of your day. When in reality, it's the guys that just jump in, and then the students that just jump in and give it a shot and do things and mess it up in the process. Because remember, they are beginners. They're new, they're students, they haven't done it before. They mess it up in the process, but then they go to their coach and then they get assistance. So it's always the students that give it a shot first and then get feedback after. It's the easiest to help for the coach, and they tend to get the most success because they propel themselves forward just from doing rather than constantly stopping, because the guys that doubt and constantly stop will really limit their momentum, whereas the doers will build heaps of momentum while making twice the amount of mistakes the doubters do, but they make 10 times the amount of progress. Right? But you also learn a lot faster from your mistakes. So that's normally be a doer, not a doubter. Second thing is, this comes specifically with our program and our support and our coaching, is run to your coaches, run to the support systems that you have, run to the network of help that you have, because if you are stuck and you are a part of a program, there should be support, there should be help, there should be coaching. So run to the coaches. The only way you can not get support is if you block me. That's the only way you can not get support.
Has that happened yet?
No, I know. No, it's not happened yet. I'm annoyingly supportive, I've been told. But so basically, run to the coaches if you have a question, if you have a query, if you are stuck. The best students will always, throughout the day, I'll get these messages. Hey, what about this? Hey, what about this? Hey, what about this? Hey, what about this? And it'll all these little check-ins with what they're doing throughout the day, what they're stuck on. That's amazing, because I can actually help that, because I know where the student is at. That's why I love when the students run to me. Like, some people feel, oh, am I being annoying? You're not being annoying. No, you're a part of this. We want to help you. We want to make sure you get great results. So run to us for support. The students that ask the most, message the most, hit me up the most all hours of the day, hit up our coaching team the most all hours of the day, are the ones that get the greatest results, because they learn the fastest and they get the most feedback because they ask for it. That's what they're after. They're here to do well, so they're going to go out and, grab life rather than wait for it to happen, so to speak, wait for the coach to reach out and be like, hey, are you having trouble with this XYZ thing specifically? No, it doesn't work like that. Run to your coach, get support. It's like if you have a personal trainer at the gym, this is a good example. If you have a personal trainer at the gym and you do an entire gym session training and you don't ask them a single question, you're probably not maximizing your use of that PT. Utilize them, ask them more questions, get them to help more. That's how you can get better results. And then third thing will be the students. This is going to be an interesting one, because some people may disagree with me on this, but the students that do the best in the long run are always so focused on, how can I do better? How can I be better? How can I improve the skill? How can I perform better? What steps can I do to maximize? They're so focused on getting better at the skill and improving themselves and how they perform at the program, that the sales and the results and what they're after almost surprises them. Yeah. Which is a really interesting concept. Like you think, oh, I'm so focused on getting sales. Normally it'll make sales harder to get because you're so worried about the sale. Yeah. Whereas in reality, if you're just focused on, hey, how do I do better? How do I show up? How do I, do my listings? How do I do my products? How do I do anything that the coaches are asking me, and how do I do that better? That's normally where they will see the best results. Because I've had it happen before where many students will be like, oh, I just got this sale overnight, it was crazy, I just got paid. And they're almost surprised by it, which I find very funny, but those are normally the students that do very, very well in the long run, are the ones that are just so focused on improving the skill.
For sure.
And it normally comes from doing 1 and 2 really well. If you do 1 and 2 really well, just be a doer, run to your coach for support. Naturally, valuing the skill and improving the skill is going to just become second nature to you. And then if you do that, sales come. Yeah, you can't get results without work. So simple as that. It's boring, but it's simple as that.
Of course. Well, it's like anything. At the end of the day, you're a student, right? Whether you're a student of learning English in high school, or you're learning French, or you're learning health studies, you're learning politics, law, you're a student. And part of being a student isn't focusing on, I need to pass this test guaranteed. Otherwise, it's like you can't just focus on that. You need to focus on, all right, cool. What's step 1? What do you not understand? All right, cool. I'm now going to do example number 1, test number 1. Essay number 1, and you go through it and you get the feedback and the marking and the help from the teacher. And even though it sounds quite boring, that's the reason you're prepared for the exam at the end of the semester. Because you've gone through everything and you're learning everything, trying to get as good as possible.
That's the reason the exam's going to be a breeze. You're not going to be that person out the front of the exam room, stressed, worried.
You don't just jump to the exam and get pissed that you failed it, right? It's the same as this. You can't just be like, I've joined a program and 2 days from now I haven't made 100 grand. What the hell's going on? It's like, no, you go through, you learn, you ask questions, you use the support. And by the time that you're ready to start making sales, whether it's turning on your ads or it's putting products out there and getting your first few sales, you're ready. So it just comes down to being a good student at the end of the day. And I think that you've done a really good job at going from student to teacher, because all the things that make you a good teacher were things that we saw early on as a student. You were somebody who was focused on the craft, focused on getting better each and every day, and just doing the boring work. And it's the same thing now that you're teaching people, right? You still do the boring work each and every day. You're still asking me, how do I be better? You're still going out there and learning on your own. You're still running your own businesses. You're still doing everything you need to do. And so where you started and where you are now, it's a pretty common thread. We can see how you got to where you are. And so those are really cool things.
No, it's definitely enjoyable. I do think there's something different about being a coach that has gone through it, and then also being a part of designing a program when you've been in the boots of somebody who receives the program, so to speak. Because it's like if you're trying to sell a car you've never driven, right? You're like, I guess it's good.
It's like trying to climb Mount Everest and you hire a Sherpa that's never climbed Mount Everest before.
It's never climbed Mount Everest.
It's like halfway up and it's like, oh God, I can't do this.
I hope we get up there.
100%. Cool. I hope that was valuable to each and every one of you. You'll see Emmett here on the channel if you're an Ecom Boss student. Obviously, you know Emmett already. And if you aren't an Ecom Boss student yet, but you're thinking of becoming one, you're gonna love this guy as you jump in, okay? So with that being said, hope you guys have an amazing day. If you have any questions for Emmett, drop them in the comments section below, and we'll see you in the next one.
Awesome.
Peace.